Going live. What's up, YouTubers? It's Jesse's Brick Galaxy here again. Streaming because why not? It's fun. I've got a few vignette size builds, custom builds that I've done recently and thought I'd feature them on a video all together. They are a couple of Star Wars. One's got some sewer babies. Recently was built on Iceberg Bricks channel. We did a build challenge for 60 minutes on this one. The Star Wars one was Revenge of the Sith on June 6th, or May the 6th. And then just recently in June, we had a COVID build. This one was a COVID stream. We had 90 minutes to build. So this one's really detailed with a 90-minute time limit we did on the air. So if you want to check out live builds of these two mocks, they can be seen on Iceberg Bricks YouTube channel. And we had 3 of us in there. We had fun just putting some bricks together and seeing what people come up with. I'll talk about them individually right now. I'll bring the camera maybe a little closer so that we can get a close-up on a few of these. This one was for Twin Lug underwater scene. And this one I'll talk about first. It's just a really small one that is different in scale. So like I said, I'll bring the camera closer and talk about these individually and see if we can't disclose some Lego techniques that you can use in the future. Hey, Winter Bricker, what's up in the chat? Thanks for joining my stream. Hi, Lego Train Guy. How you doing, Bryce? I am showing a few vignettes. They're smaller builds. A couple you've probably seen, but some you haven't seen. And I haven't even looked at this one for a while. I probably did this last year. I don't know if anybody can guess what that is. There's a spaceship on the roof. There is a house. Pretty standard. This is micro scale, like it's like 1/100th. So we have people that are only a few studs high. These are supposed to be people. And if you can't tell yet, this is Rick and Morty. So we have a Rick and Morty with the spaceships. We have a bunch of Meeseeks popping up all over the town, all over their house here because they hit the Meeseeks button. So again, 1/100th scale is about what you see here. And it's pretty simple slope pattern on the roofs, a little satellite dish up here. The ship was fun, little dome, and 4x4 kind of look. But the people, just to kind of give you an idea of how much you can do with just like 3 or 4 colors, you got, it's so hard to do. You got Rick there with the blue hair and the lab coat. You got Morty with brown hair, yellow shirt, blue pants. You got his sister, Summer, the pink shirt and orange hair, red hair. You got Jerry, blue pants, blue shirt, brown hair. And then you got, what's the mom's name? I'm drawing a blank right now. And anyway, there's a kind of a portal back here. There's a green portal that they use to jump dimensions. And there's a basketball hoop that is just a bracket on the back. And I can open this up haven't done this forever, but I made an interior for this. So you have a garage. That was the garage on that side. I think this one comes off too. The house has been invaded by Mr. Meeseeks. Look at me. They're all over in there. They took over. So in the garage, there's some details and a few rooms, the kitchen, living room, whatnot. There's a back door and porch. Whoa, there's some tall Meeseeks in there. I don't know what's up with that. I forget what's going on there. There's like a porch back here. But as far as Lego techniques in the scale, you've got a plate that's sideways and upside down as a door. And that's done by, you can see the front door piece a little bit. There's a Technic with a hole in it. And if you put a couple of them just right, you can pin the stud in and position the door so it's facing out, so the plate's facing outward. I did the front door that way. The garage is just stacked plates. But another technique for a window could just be plates. I think this side, you've got the headlight brick backwards for a window. So you see that a lot, windows with headlight bricks. And there's two, well, kind of like a porch there. Anyway, that's the first build. Ah, there goes the spaceship. Spaceship. So there you go. That's the first one. I wanted to show a micro technique building in a vignette. So vignette is usually done on a 16 by 16 base plate or plate. It's just a plate, 16 by 16 plate. And if you can keep everything on that plate to that size, depends on what a contest or challenge, you might want to look at some of the rules. And that is a vignette. So there's the first one. The second one here is a spoiler. So if you watch Star Wars, you have seen this scene. If you have not possibly watched Clone Wars yet, we've got the clone helmets here. There's a clone helmet in the snow. If you have not watched Clone Wars yet, this might be a spoiler. Sorry, spoiler alert for Clone Wars, the final season 7, last episode. So this is your chance to get out if you have not seen that video. I'm going to do the storytelling in this vignette because it's all about vignettes and storytelling. So I'm going to spoil the Clone Wars, the very most recent Star Wars ever, last played. So what we have here also is some lights. Let's see if this works. There we go. Darth Vader is holding a blue lightsaber. And he's looking down at some clone helmets that are orange-ish. Those are from the Ahsoka. I believe it's 322 that painted their helmets to look like Ahsoka. These are not painted in that fashion, but you can imagine they could have been, and the orange paint has worn off. So Darth Vader, so Ahsoka left her lightsaber and buried her troopers that crashed on this ship. This is like the ship, the remains of the ship in the snow. When it crashed, it wasn't snowing. So when they show this scene with Darth Vader, it's like months later, we're thinking, maybe even a year or two later. then that he goes back and finds Ahsoka's lightsaber that he had actually given to her as Anakin Skywalker. So sorry if that was spoiling it for you, but I really wanted to do a tribute to that scene. And this was actually done in 60-minute time frame. I had to figure out how to put the snow down and leave room for this arch. It's like a broken piece of a ship behind it. And back here, much larger ship crashed behind here, but on a vignette scale, you only cut out a piece of what you want to show your story. You know, it only needs to be this size. So again, this is a 16 by 16, and it is bumped out a little bit as you go up, but that's okay. There's icicles on here that I probably could have done better, not like sideways, more downward facing ones. But again, it was a time limit. So to be able to do this in that time frame, and with the owl up here flying in the sky, Vader looking up, the force of goodness being represented by the owl, two out of reach for Darth Vader. He's gone to the dark side. So that was a cool build. I don't know if it'll show up. Whoop, see, I got mixel joints barely holding this thing together. But there's footprints like in the snow behind Vader, like he walked up and left footprints in the snow. These mixel joints are barely staying up. So yeah, that was fun. That was a build we did for, we were going to do May the 4th. We were going to do May the 4th be with you. We missed it, so we went with Revenge of the 6th. It didn't happen on the 5th. Could have been the 5th, but the 6th for Sith, and we all did the Darth Vader builds. So that was fun. Again, this was built on a challenge on Iceberg Bricks channel, Iceberg Bricks YouTube channel. So you can go back a month and see that play out in real time. All right, I'm going to put this one away so we don't go too long here today. Bring out the next Star Wars one. This is kind of cool on the screen there. You see Luke, you see Rey, you see some porgs, and I added porgs to this so I knew where they all are in my collection, and they'll be on this vignette for a while to keep, because it's a nice little vignette you can keep on your shelf. And if I ever want to pull a porg off of here and put it on a different mock, I can do that. So that's fun. All right, so underwater was the theme. So I should show under the water for you guys. And underwater is the X-Wing and a shark and some underwater like tropical reef, alien world pieces down here. I use a Ninjago squid helmet guy right there just to have some fun with the alienness of it. That's the shark from with the eye patch from Metalbeard, I believe. And then the X-Wing has been parked underwater. Luke abandoned it on the Octo Island forever until Rey needed a ride home. She destroyed her another, spoilers again if you haven't seen. Not the last Jedi, but the Skywalker one, Rise of Skywalker. So if you haven't seen Rise of Skywalker, this might spoil a little bit, but it is just, as far as technique, a vignette that I think all stays together. So I can show you, that it is on a 16 by 16. And then I built the rock work, just rock cragging different slopes together up to a level where I sideways built a surface of the water, and it's just trans bricks and a few headlight ones, I believe, that give room for the cheese slopes to stick out and give it the appearance of waves on the water. And then some more rock work with some foliage and porgs that lead up to scene where Luke is using the Force to lift the X-Wing out of the water. Finally, he's powerful enough to believe he can use the Force. The Force is with me, and I am one with the Force. And Rey is seeing that. So powerful scene that I was able to show in a vignette scale. So you don't have to go super big, huge table, huge, tables and cities worth of stuff to do something cool and tell a story with Lego. You can do a vignette size, and you can tell a big story and have fun with it and show some really good techniques. So I know you guys are probably just checking it out in the chat. If you had any questions about the techniques, go ahead and type it in. Otherwise, I'm going to move on. This was a build for Twin Lug. I'm in Minnesota, so Twin Lug is a group of adult builders that have a monthly challenge. You get a theme underwater and a month or more to build it. So there was no time limit other than about a month. I think I did this over a weekend, probably two evenings, 3 evenings to bring this all together. That was fun. Big Star Wars fan, of course, so this was very cool. Thanks, Winterberger. Thanks for the comments, Lego Train Guy. There it is. So monthly challenge, look for those. You probably see posts about them if you're not in a lug. People doing build challenges, sometimes about this scale. So number one, think about what sliver of a scene you can show on a 16 by 16 area, but you can do multiple layers. So we have underwater and above water here, being able to tell more of the story and show more techniques, and it really gives you a chance to do what you can with the bricks you have. So, all right. So most recently, we get to this one, and this is the storytelling one that kind of prompted me to talk about storytelling, and I was put on the spot by Iceberg Bricks. Of course, he puts me on the ice box, asking me about. I start into the sewer baby story. So before I get too far into this, I'll show it a little bit. There's sewer babies down there. There's a barbershop building and a second level. So on this one, I have 3 levels, and it all fits on a vignette size 16 by 16. This one I don't want to tip upside down exactly. I think there might be 1 loose brick on there. But again, on Iceberg Bricks Challenge, we did a COVID challenge. So we have a quarantine. We have a barbershop under quarantine. And they're deciding to cut hair outside since they cannot allow customers inside. So the storytelling about this one is you're under quarantine at a barbershop, but they're cutting hair outside. And you can do a lot with the minifigs. This is Hagrid's from Harry Potter. His huge beard and face. Well, not his face, but his beard. And so it looks like this guy's really growing out the hair. And then this guy's got the stash and a afro going on. He's holding some Clorox to fit in with that COVID pandemic theme. And we just recorded 2 days ago. So you can go to Iceberg Channel and see more live building. So again, with the pandemic going on, you've got them ordering pizza from this guy, and the delivery guy has the touchless service where he leaves the pizza on the door of whatever business or resident, right? And the sewer babies, this is kind of apocalyptic. So the sewer babies are taking the pizza and they're going down the sewer. So I have a hole there with the manhole lid, and there's a ladder for the sewer babies, and pizza down there, and some other junk food. There's a couple loose fish and hot dogs and pizza. I got this graphic of Link from Eclipse Graphics and threw it in there first as I was building this. Again, I had 90 minutes to build this whole thing. So I started stacking the bricks for the sewer, put in these arches, quarter arches to show like a sewer tunnel. And I just threw in this guy and in the skeleton, and they're asking me, oh, what happened to him? I don't know. I said in the video that it's Link and he died. Somebody in the chat said he choked on a hot dog, and it actually looks like he's jumping out as graffiti and running off like a ghostly graffiti is coming out of the skeleton. That was totally by chance. I had no intention of that. It just happened that way. So I lucked out with that storytelling. And then during that live feed, Iceberg's telling me, how did the sewer babies get made? They're turning into Ninja Turtles. How did they start? And I point at this punk cat, and my story was that the punk cat is eating the hair from the barbers that are cutting the hair, and the cat eats the hair, coughs up a hairball, and the hairball turns into a sewer baby. So pretty funny, pretty by chance. Like I had no plan, but it was a funny story to tell live on the air in 90 minutes. Yeah. I added the quarantine stuff after the fact, but I had them ready to go. These little quarantine things. Otherwise, built the whole thing. There's a barber pole. The pizza delivery guy is wearing a mask. The barber is wearing a green mask. And Chewy is there. Chewy's been waiting the longest for a haircut. So that was really funny. Ideas that I had kind of prepped idea-wise before we started building, and then when we started building, it had to come together. So I have, as far as techniques, I added a few things in the cave after the video because I pulled some Lego Movie 2 characters for the punk cats and the sewer babies, and I had Unikitty there in one corner, and then I added my sig fig. So if you know Jesse's Brick Galaxy, I do some sig fig trading, and this is my guy. He's wearing a Batman torso with sleeves, so it's, and then I added some Bat merch in here, so he's like in a Bat cave, taking some shirts from Batman, and isn't that fun how the story just keeps continuing? So there he is, the apocalyptic Batman, hanging out in the back of the sewer baby sewer. So those guys, I think they were all from Lego Movie 2. I recently rewatched. And what we have here is the cat lady up here. She had the punk cats. And this is Wild Style. And she's got the scarf on and binoculars. And then Emmett is actually, it's probably hard to tell that that's Emmett because his hair's grown out. I put a hairpiece and a beard on him. I can show the back side. There you go. So that's Emmett and Wild Style. and the cat lady in their apocalyptic Apocalypseburg sets. Anyway, here's techniques. So when I was kind of dreaming like I was going to build this sewer scene, I knew I was going to have a building back here, and I need a street and a sidewalk and just the facade of a building. So when I built the first level, I come up and I put in what I need for the barber pole, and I put in what I need for this. It's just a 1x4 slope, plated down and across, and then I built on top of it. So it's loosely kind of in there, but it gives you that awning look in barbershop feel. And then as you go up, you kind of put in a ledge and some architecture. This piece is like that architecture piece. And then put in a ledge for the cat. I knew I like having cats up on ledges on buildings. And then you keep going up with more bricks and windows, simple slotted plate with the slot in it. Makes it look more 3D. You can see that from the side, on top and below the windows. And then again, the same pattern. Repeat the pattern for in between levels. Makes the building look architecturally like solidly designed by the same person. So each level has the same technique up here with just belay and tan pieces. And then I added a seagull up there. So hope you like that. Hey, Bricksomniac, welcome to the chat. I'm going through my vignettes. I've already kind of used a half hour of time just to go over my storytelling in more depth, that I've done these vignettes and show some vignette techniques. So to save time, I did not brick in the whole solid like back here. That's really risky. So when I was laying all these plates and bricks up here, it was cracking and starting to fall together. So this was actually risky, but makes it more lightweight. So hope you guys like that. These windows, by the way, were from the hidden side. You can see that behind Chewy here, there's some cracks on the window and the door frame. That was from the hidden side train station. So I kind of took that apart as I was building this to pull some doors, and lucked out that that really fits the pandemic, COVID lockdown vignette theme. All right, well, gonna probably sign off right at the half-hour mark, and cut a minute and a half. If anybody has any questions in the chat, let me know. Thanks for tuning in live. Otherwise, everyone else, thanks for checking out my videos. Jesse's Brick Galaxy on YouTube and Instagram. Starting to follow people from YouTube to Instagram and back and forth and find all you guys. So I think I found Winter Bricker and Bricksomniac. I'll give you a shout out. Hope to see more of all you guys. Lego Train Guy, I know you, and appreciate you being there. We'll all just keep building. So hope everyone's staying safe, staying sane, and staying creative, because we just like to have fun with Lego, right? All right. That's time. And I'm not sure what's next. What's next for me? I've got Monkey Kid train stuff, but I already did a video. If you haven't seen that, go check out my video on Monkey Kid train. I will probably be on other streams chatting it up. So we'll see you guys on the feed. Thanks again.